But my goal was to kind of get out of the ghetto and be a New York Yankee, be a baseball player. That was my big master plan. Mom was not hearing that. Strong family values and strong cultural values and strong morality. Those are big deals. I'm in New York where morality wasn't really a big deal to most. Do whatever, walk over whoever, get what you got to get, while you can get it. And I'm like, oh, wow. So I'm sitting here like, am I getting ready to corrupt all that with my story? I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, man, do I want to share some things? I don't know how that's going to go through. But that's just my thoughts.
Welcome to the Daughter Podcast, where fathers become everyday heroes in their daughters' lives. Grow, evolve, and lead with love. Here's your host, Oscar Pena.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Daughter Podcast. Oscar here, your fellow growing girl dad. Today with another fellow growing girl dad, Yusef Marshall is going to join us today to talk about girl dad stuff. And it's really cool because he's not going to look like it. As soon as I put him on camera here in a minute, you'll see what I'm talking about. He doesn't look like he has a 40-year-old daughter, but he does. And the experience he's gained, he's bringing over to the Daughter Podcast. And man, I am so happy to have him. So, Yusef, man, how are you? Thank you so much for being with us today.
It's a pleasure to be on here with you, Oscar. Thanks for having me in here. I'm doing good, man. Long day today, but it's okay, man. This is probably going to be the highlight of the day. So glad to be in here in the box with you, man. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I know it's going to highlight for me. I got the privilege of being on one-on-one with Mr. U, which is who we have on here. And I didn't even give him the full intro because he's got like literally 100 hats, it feels like. But he's a certified high-performance coach, worship leader, songwriter, and dynamic speaker of over 25 years of experience, guys. I mean, so he brings that side. But today we're going to focus on using all of that, all the experience he has, and bringing it to how he has grown as a father of 3 daughters. So that's a conversation that I'm excited about. I've got my notebook. All right. I'm ready to start taking some notes on all the goodness that we're going to pick up today, man. I know I gave you a little intro, dude, but if you can, just give us a little bit about your background and obviously, your father and background and your daughters.
Well, you mentioned a lot of stuff. I'm a high-performance coach. I'm a minister. My wife and I do ministry together here locally, have been for nearly 30 years now. I've been a leadership coach, a life coach for about, I guess we're going to year 27 now.
Wow.
So the high-performance coach is a new realm for me. It's not like what I was doing before, genre-wise, but it's still me coaching, so I'm not totally lost here.
Yeah.
In a podcast for 5 years. We got 3 excuse moving podcasts. You know about one, and there's a couple that we probably will talk about at some point probably. And beside that, man, I hustle and I try to get things done. I'm from New York City originally, so it's kind of hard to not think about being a mover and a shaker. I'm in the South now, so I got to slow down. But, you know, I'm trying to just create legacy, man. So I think it's kind of a big part of why I'm doing all these things and wearing all these hats, man.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be to make myself wealthy and be self-made. I'm trying to just make an impact because I know my time here is limited, and I want to go to the end of my story empty and not full of stuff I haven't done. So that's kind of my big picture goal for why I do all that I do.
Yeah,
I'm tired sometimes. You can get weary, but the work, it matters. So, and it matters to a lot of people beside myself. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, man. Everything I'm doing, actually.
Well, I can attest to how much it matters. You run a round table of men, and obviously in the Daughter Podcast, we're here to learn and we're here to grow, right? Because if you're not growing, you're just stealthily dying. Like, that's just not what we're doing, right? And that legacy, man, you're obviously building a legacy of all the things that you're doing, obviously for your family as well, but you're passing that legacy on to men that, like me, I'm going to take this information, I'm going to write it down, I'm going to go implement it in hopes that I'm just better a little bit every single day in showing up for my daughters, man. And so absolutely cementing that legacy that you're doing. And again, as I mentioned, guys, look at Mr. U here. Like, he looks like a young man. I don't know where he's been or what kind of water he's drinking, but we might have to take some of that because he doesn't look a day over 30 over here.
I don't know what to tell you, man. I hear that kind of stuff all the time. Nobody believes the story. I mean, and I left out the part Then we got 6 grandkids and 3 great grandchildren. That part is like nobody's who would lie about that, man. That's not a badge of honor. I'm like, who would lie about that? But it's my story, and I'm learning how to be comfortable in it because I wasn't always that way. I'm learning how to be comfortable in that story. There's a lot of responsibility comes with saying, you know what, I got daughters, grandchildren, great grandchildren. That's if you don't see the obligation and responsibility, that's something you need to reframe how you see it because something's missing there. Because that's a big it's a big weight.
That's crazy to think that. Dude. Like, that's amazing. Congratulations. I mean, that's amazing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
But let's get into old Yusef. No, opposite. Young Yusef coming in. And I mean, who was he before daughters got here? Like, what are we looking at?
All right. Well, he is from Brooklyn, New York. Literally, can I say from the streets without making it sound super ghetto? But he's he's from the streets. But he comes from a family that pride themselves on religion and education. My grandmother from Cuba and my mom was from the Virgin Islands in Barbados. So I had those kind of humble beginnings where I understood the integrity of work. And one of my main goals in life was to make my mother proud. I saw her work 2 jobs and go to school almost the entire time I lived in her home. So for me, being the last key kid, my goal was to make sure I didn't mess up and bring shame on the family. Right. That was literally what I was thinking about all the time. And for a young person, that's kind of like, that's a lot to carry around.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm out there playing stick ball and throwing rocks and playing tag and doing hide and go seek and fun stuff too. But at the end of the day, my main goal was not to mess up and just honor my mother and my grandmother. So I was highly educated from the beginning. I was an avid reader and learner, soaking in information. My mother would teach calculus and learn calculus for her medical career. I would try to read the same books that she was studying. At an age where I had no concept of what we were talking about. So I'll read the medical books, I'll read the math books, the calculus books. I was nowhere near taking calculus. So I was definitely a soaker of information. And I think it helped me out to a degree as I got older, but my goal was to kind of get out of the ghetto and be a New York Yankee, be a baseball player. That was my big master plan. Mom was not hearing that. I told you she was higher education, right? So she wanted me to do something that had some numbers and letters behind it. They were not a baseball player, not a musical artist, not a performer, not a musician. Yeah. Not a basketball player or none of those things. So she wanted me to be in some kind of a career that had longevity because she saw people who didn't have in life. Yeah. She grew up around that. So she didn't want that for her son.
I mean, I'm listening to this instillment of these values that you work hard to keep. That you work hard to protect, as you're saying, I'm working hard to not bring any shame to my family because there's value there. And it's interesting as you say that, and let's be fair. You didn't have iPhones and the internet and all these things to distract you. No. Which is now just an excuse, right? Like we know we can still be intentional. Yeah. But I was having this conversation the other day about leaving legacy in lessons and wisdom with my kids, right? Like, how do I do that? And it feels like your mom knew that as well, but she instilled them in values. So she could have gave you a lesson, but that lesson was always coming back to a value that she instilled in you. And that's something that more and more I start thinking about. I'm like, are my kids internalizing the lessons and the things that I want them to learn? Because if they're not, then I'm not connecting it to what the values in our family are. Yeah. And it sounds like...
And I'm like, oh, wow. So I'm sitting here like, am I getting ready to corrupt all that with my story? I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, man, do I want to share some things? I don't know how that's going to go through. But that's just my thoughts.
That's what your mom did very well.
Yeah. I think there's always and this is just me talking out of all these things going in my head right now, all these thoughts that I think about all the time, about culture and legacy. There's always an inherent danger of trying to give the next generation something that came from previous generations, but you can't do that. It's not all things equal. Right. It's happened in the 1800s you can't apply that to the 2000s because the situation was different. People were in war. People were in poverty. The mindset was just different. You can't take that mindset and bring it over here because a husband had to do something different in 1800s that he had to do in 2026. It's a different world. So I had to keep that in mind. Also, I have to take the old world values that could be instilled in me and try to apply it into my right now. So there's some adaptation that had to take place. But she definitely shared that. Values were important to her. I mean, it's not because they were from an island and had that kind of culture, but I think it did play a part. Where, you know, strong family values and strong cultural values and strong morality, those are big deals. I'm in New York where morality wasn't really a big deal to most people. It was like, do whatever, walk over whoever, get what you got to get, you know, while you can get it, you know? So it was different, but I thank God for the values she instilled in me, you know? I even think to the day, I'm like, I'm grateful for it. Some things I'm like, I can't apply everything that I see. I just put it out there. I can't apply everything I hear. Even things that were things I accepted in the past, that I'm like, that's not going to work for me today. I know too much. I've been behind the curtain. I know too much now. But you know, those values are powerful, and they speak to what we're talking about: faith and family and fatherhood. Values are a big deal, man, because that's what gets you out of the bed in the morning. So you know what? I got to do this. I can't do that. So that's big deal, man. Absolutely.
So now take us a little bit more forward. Your first child is 85. Right?
She was born in 85.
85. Man, what is the thought there? Because you got to add context. You just mentioned it, right? Like you can't take the old values to put in, but there's got to be this. I mean, for me, it was one. There's a new human that I'm going to be in charge of, that is going to be reliant on me, which is wild when you think about it. You're like, but I'm barely relying on myself. You know, I'm trying to figure this thing out. What did that look like for you?
And I'm answer that, but I'm going to preface it with one thing, because I want you to understand my trepidation by answering this question a little bit. I got a chance to see your beautiful family recently. Loved the video. And I'm like, oh, wow. So I'm sitting here like, am I getting ready to corrupt all that with my story? I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, man, do I want to share some things? I don't know how that's going to go through. But that's just my thoughts. I'm just saying out loud to my friend. But in regards to that, it was a challenge for me. I mean, all three of our daughters, you know, they're all 2 years apart. And it's coming into their life and just being a part of this new family we were creating. The hard part was that, you know what, where do I pull from? I mean, I was an avid reader. I grabbed resources. I read things at a rapid pace because I wanted to learn and grow in wisdom. And now I had a hunger for it. I can't really explain where it came from, at least not at the time. I'm sitting here now like, where do I pull from to learn how to father these three little princesses who don't have anybody but me in their life and their mother? How do I pour into them and not mess? It's almost like, you know, like dealing with China dolls. How do I mess this up without breaking it?
That's a good point.
It was a really serious fear for me, because I'm like, you mess this up, this kind of stuff. I mean, in my mind, I figure if you mess it up, it's kind of permanent.
Yes.
You know, we can believe in God and transformation and those things, that they all true, and we know that to be true today. But in my mind, I'm like, if I mess this up right here, I'm scarring these people.
Yeah.
I'm leaving a mark that might not go away. So I'm like super concerned about my role as a father. I'm like, I can't ask my father how to help me do this because he wasn't able to help me do it. I don't have a father figure that I can pull on for information. I mean, my point of reference was the Bill Cosby Show in 1984. That's how I learned how fatherhood could potentially look as a model.
Yeah.
And you know, now that could be frowned upon by some people, but for me, it was everything. And I'm like, so how do I do this? So I was totally out of my depth. Completely. I was bringing mindsets that I saw around me, saw on television, and tried to forge that into a fathering or parenting plan with these three beautiful little girls. So I'm saying like, I don't know and they were all very, very young too. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I just tried to figure it out, piece it together, learn from my mistakes, reframe some bad mindsets, and just try to take care of them and be the best that I can be. So in hindsight, looking back at these girls that are adults now, I'm like, I hope I didn't cause this to happen because they're
Yeah.
dealing with these things now. I'm like, did I teach them, equip them well enough so that they could survive that?
Right.
Or was that just a personal decision they made counter to what they learned from me, and that's why they're in the spot that they're in. So even as an adult with adult daughters, I'm sitting here like, Dad, did I do good? I'm still
Yeah.
wondering, I'm still waiting for somebody to say, you did great, son.
Yeah.
You did great, Dad. I love
You're
you.
still in it. Yeah.
I'm still in the I'm in the soup, so to speak. So
Yeah. Man, that's a great point because you're absolutely right. The playbook you were given has a factor, right? And that's everybody, different people. Your playbook was almost non-existent, as you mentioned. You had to go find a playbook to say, "Oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing." I'm glad that there was something, right? When we're looking at the magnitude of what you're talking about, I don't know if I say it this way because it feels like I'm giving myself props, but I think good fathers think that way. I think if you are, if you even have the intent of being a good father, that is your thought. How do I like how you said it too, by the way. You said, how do I mess these up without breaking them? Because you're human, right? Like we know we're human. So yes, we know this is not going to go perfect. Let's figure out how to do this.
Absolutely.
The thing that I think about is how resilient we can help make them, and we don't think about that, right? And I'm telling you I thought the same thing. My first daughter's coming. I'm like, first of all, child, crazy. Second of all, it's a girl. How am I supposed to raise a girl? Like I know nothing, and everything I read or listened to, because this was 2012, so I would pull up an audiobook or I'd find a podcast, which was not that many in 2012 for fathering girls. Yeah. Actually, there wasn't that many in 2024 when I started. They never gave me like satisfaction of like, okay, I'm gonna do that and like write it down. That's what I'm doing, because once she got here, man, that weight felt extremely heavy. Right? And so trying to get to that, to finding how to, I love how you said that. Like, how do I go about this without completely breaking the plate? Like, how do I do this? Right?
Yeah. It's a real thing, man. It's a real thing.
And the thing is, in 85, like, I don't know that. I mean, I don't know how I would have done it. Because, like I said, I was able to reach back and be like, oh, there's a book here. There's an audio book here. There's one or two podcasts. I'm going to listen to that. Like, what are they doing? Dude, I can't even imagine getting to that point. And I'm trying to think of what was going back in, like, what's happening around you, right? The context. 85, like, I can't really think of exactly what's going on. But if I try to put it in context now, like, even now, our youngest is 5. I can't, it's sad, but I sometimes think, I'm like, I don't know that if we could, that I would feel right about bringing another kid, because it just seems like a crazy world. No, so how do I used to say, how do I protect them from it? Now I say, how do I teach them to protect themselves from this? What is your mindset when you hold your daughter for the first time?
I feel like the mindset is, they're looking to, and I even seen it with my little sister too. It's like they probably looking to me. I got to be a role model, because sometimes, I mean, growing up where I was, a role model was not on my mind. Yeah. Not only did I not have one, I wasn't trying to be one. I was a solo artist for the most part, free agent. So doing that, and I think you probably feel it with your young one in 2012. It's like they're gonna look to me. I got to show up. I can't afford to have an off day. It's like it's so unfair to ourselves to think like that, but we still do though. And we got to just validate the fact that it's a real thing. It's a real thing. We ain't got to accept it and make it our home, but it's a real thing. We're thinking every day, I can't afford to be imperfect. Yeah. I got to get it right every time. If I don't, bad things are happening. And you know what? Like I said, it's not fair. We're not perfect. We shouldn't hold ourselves or our kids to that standard. But, man, we feel that thing, man. Talking about 85, man. That 85 was... there was a lot going on, man, in the world. kind of like now. Wasn't a lot of great things happening in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
My daughters, man, my daughters gave me the scare of a lifetime, and it also reminded me of how tenuous the situation was. I
Okay.
needed to go to the barber shop, and I was
Okay.
taking the girls with me that day. So they were all riding in my pickup, right? And bear in mind, our relationship was new.
Okay.
And what I did was I said, y'all can wait in the truck, keep the doors locked. I'm just gonna get my hair cut. I already got an appointment. Should be able to be in and out, but it's a barber shop. You know how that is. So I go
Yeah.
in,
Yeah. Right.
right? And I come back out. I don't think it was a lot of time. I got right in the chair. That my guy was ready. It probably wasn't even 30 minutes. Got back to the truck, and the girls were gone.
No.
Now, I'm in a state that I just moved to. It's not New York City, it's South Carolina. Just moved here. You know what I'm saying? My wife's at work. I'm sitting here thinking, okay, who am I calling? Am I calling 911 or I'm calling my wife to tell her that I can't find our daughters? What's going to be my first phone call? So I'm sitting there panicking, looking around like, God. And my relationship with him was new. So I'm sitting like, okay, how do I say, God, you see what's up? Can you? And I was walking around like, wait, why would they leave? I had the amount of thoughts going through my mind was so much. Like, you're going to jail in South Carolina. They're going to bury you under the jail. Your marriage is over.
Oh my gosh.
If you get back to New York, you're going back and you're probably going to never come back down here again. But it was all kind of thoughts going in my mind. So I'm walking around the truck like, God, what in the world? And I just felt a strong impression in me to just be quiet and listen.
Okay.
Because I was panicking. I'm like, okay. I listened for about, I would even say 5 seconds. And I could hear the sound of laughter and giggling.
All right.
So I'm like, in the back of my truck is a cab with the cover over it. They're inside the back of the cab because I guess I left it unlocked. So they're inside the cab, laughing and giggling while their dad's out here panicking in these streets.
Oh, they got you good.
What I learned from that, but after I was shit.
Yeah.
They got a stern talking to. That's about it, though. I couldn't go further. Like I was so happy that they were still here.
Yeah.
That's what happened to them. Like I said, the world around us was crazy. But the point that I think I got from it personally as a father was, you know what? You're not in control of this situation. That's what I learned from this. You don't run this situation. You can do the best you can, and you should.
Yeah.
Work hard, create systems, do things to help them be the best that they can be without trying to mold them into your own image. And teach them how to be strong, like you and I discussed in the past. Teach them how to be strong and somewhat independent so they can be able to function.
Yeah.
When you're not around, because there's going to be a time where you're not going to be around. They can't run to you for everything. They got to be able to survive and not survive, but I would say thrive in their environments, wherever they're going to be. So that's what I learned from that situation. You don't control the situation. I was totally helpless. There was nothing I can do to make the situation better. And I learned that, you know what? I got to trust God and all this stuff. I got to trust, what I'm teaching them is good enough to help them in life. And incrementally, they're going to learn more. More's going to be added on in their learning and their wisdom. But all you can do is the best you can do, man. So take the load off your shoulders, man. Just do the best you can do and keep your flesh and your personal opinions out of it. And just do the best you can for those girls that, need to be able to make it in this crazy world that we live in, man. If that makes sense. Yeah. Hope it does.
No, absolutely. There's a big difference of when you allow yourself to trust in God when these things happen. It's a big difference for me, I'm probably where you're at, where it's just like relatively new, right? But I've always grown up in prayer and these different things, but when you bring it in as a full grown man, that's really different. And I have learned that I have not had that exact situation. There's a couple of times where we lost, well, I shouldn't say when I lost my daughters here in the neighborhood, where I was like, oh crap, I don't know where she went. And then, frantically looking. Luckily, we live in a pretty safe neighborhood, but nevertheless, right? You're just like you said, all these things go through your head. Start panicking, like, where are they? How can I have done this? Blah blah blah. My wife didn't know about it for weeks, but that sense of not being in control is a very interesting one. And it takes me a little bit towards like how you've coached, because as an athlete, I've been coached, and as an athlete, it makes sense to almost, you don't give control to the coach, but you allow the coach to give you these different views that you're not able to see, right? You've had, I think you said 27 years of experience in that realm. And I have to be,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm curious. What flaw, I guess maybe we'll call that, what flaw have you noticed trends with young men raising daughters or getting ready to, or not? What have you seen in your experience in all that time that we tend to kind of do to ourselves and puts us in a like a failing state? Not, I guess maybe not a failing state. What puts us behind?
And I guess I had to keep it in the general in this in my answer.
Yeah.
So forgive me for that in advance. What I've noticed with men who have daughters, hashtag girl dads and whatnot, I feel like one of the things that they do is they take it's a good word for this. They kind of take a passive approach to fatherhood, to parenting. They default on the wife because she's a girl, and they may think, you know what, she's gonna understand more, and he won't. So it limits how much he tries. It limits how much he decides to venture out. I mean, because not that our girls are territories, but we need to kind of explore relationships in a different way with them. Because we can't just say, you know what, this is what a girl should be, and it should look like this because my mother and grandmama said so, my father and my grandfather said so. We got to kind of look at things like, okay, these are creative, intuitive, unique human beings.
Yes.
They just happen to be your daughter.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
This part we need to understand and kind of help, in some ways, help shape and help mold in some way, because some things are it's just a clump, and we got to kind of help make them understand, you know what, you can be that without, tearing everything down in your wake. You can still be creative and unique and powerful and all that. So I feel like most men I've seen that have a flaw, if you will, is they lay back on parenting because they feel like, you know what, they're concerned about whether their voice is going to be heard because they're a man, or what it's going to look like, will it be received? And it's something that we deal with as men, has nothing to do with our daughters. It's something that we bring to the table. And I just, what I tried to do, and I found I kind of stumbled into this myself as a parent. I tried to be really actively involved. I was doing my daughter's hair. It's still a funny story to this day because it didn't look like it was like professionally done. It was just like, hey, my wife's busy, she's working, things are going on. This is my assignment. So I styled their hair, put barrettes in their hair. I did that. I helped pick out their clothes. I did that. I made lunches. I wasn't even actually a home or house dad, or whatever the term is for it. I was working at times too, but it was just it was something that I wanted to be involved in. I was overcompensating for what I didn't have, to be real about it. I'm like, you know what, I got to help.
Yes.
I can't just be this guy standing in the background. He's got to bring the check home, and that's all he contributes to the household. I wanted to be involved. I was involved in a lot of things. Daddy-daughter dances, helping them with their homework. Standing at the door when boys want to come ringing my doorbell.
Right.
Dude, we ain't doing that. So I was a part of everything you could think of, with the exception of a few things that you probably understand that the father probably need to stay out of that part. Let the mom handle the girl issues and stuff.
Right.
But beside that, I was involved in everything. And I feel like a lot of men I see drop the ball is they try to avoid that because of their own feelings of inadequacy, their own hang-ups, or they just feel like, you know what, I can't help but so much. They limit themselves in their own mind. Nobody even limited them. They limit themselves in their own mind, just what they think about themselves.
Yeah.
And fathers can be a lot of things. I see fathers that can do great things with the daughter. I mean, it's that relationship is beautiful, man. When I see it brings me to tears a lot of times. I can't even look at Instagram sometimes.
Yeah.
It brings me to tears. I'm like, man, that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
A father can be actively involved in it, because that is going to be the man or kind of man that she's going to want to marry.
Yeah.
And sees as viable in her life. Even friends, not even just marriage, but even the kind of friends she has.
Absolutely.
They're going to model that father. So if you're not around, if you're invisible, if you're hiding out in the garage, kicking around with your old car, and your daughter's inside letting TV father her,
Yeah.
what do you get?
Yeah. Yeah.
You get what you invest in, I guess. So,
you know what's interesting is if you look at, I think it started in the 90s. It might have started before, but I remember it in the 90s where the shows you started to watch almost put dads in that place, right? Like,
yeah, the sitcoms.
Yeah, the sitcoms were like
the 90s sound about right. That's about
right. You
Yeah,
started
I
to see that like, oh,
80s.
dad is just here to like provide, and then he kind of just sits in the background. He doesn't want to mess with anything. Like, oh, tell your mom. Like, I don't know what's going on. Or like the real dummy dad, right? Like the goofball, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then we start pushing, and I'll tell you, I was 100% guilty right up front. Like when we had my daughter, I'm like, this has got to be you. I don't know what's going on here. Like this situation is different than what I know, right? As my daughter started getting older, I felt that. I was like, I want to be doing that. So then I would start with her hair. Let me do her hair. And it kind of sucked for her a little bit because some people will understand. I had a specific military training for a really long time. And one of the jokes is like, we're combat seamstress. So I could sew, like it taught me how to sew real good. It taught me how to braid real good. And so that's where I started. I'm like, well, I know how to do this. Let's start this. And man, I make some tight braids, and my daughter was not liking it. Like this hurts kind of thing. I got better at it. I've gotten more finesse. But what I'm saying is that I started before with like, I tell my wife, I'm like, hey, this is you, right? And it was instant. Like it felt instant. Like I don't know, this is not me. I gotta pull back. I don't know anything about this. As my daughter started to get older, she would ask me questions. And I think that's where it started, where I would try to get real scientific with it so that I wouldn't, like, especially those questions where it's like, well, what do I have this thing here? I'm like, oh, let's see why, and before I would be like, ask your mom. I don't know anything about that. But then I started getting into, all right, I can answer these questions. I just, as you mentioned, for me, it was like a slippery slope. Like, how do I answer it? And it's not taken in a weird way or the wrong way, right? Like it's just, but I think,
I get you.
But I think you're right. It's so important as you start to move forward and you're like, where is your dad? Because I want to help. I'm all over the house. I'm doing stuff in my garage. I'm doing stuff in the house. I'm doing whatever needs to be done. And that's kind of the whole concept in the family. Hey, you're a unit. So you're part of the unit. You're doing work just like the rest of us. The other thing that takes me to is the what do they call it? The man space, or the like dads will have like a garage or a
man cave. Yeah.
Man cave, right?
Yeah.
For the longest time, even after my second daughter came to us, I'm like, I need a man cave, right? I need a man cave. Man, like the more and more I started to think of that, and the more really when I started to hit that realization of how much more I need to be present with my daughters, the man cave became like not good. Like in my mind, I'm like, wait a minute. I don't want to go hide over there. Odds are I'm going to want them with me because I want to hang out with them. And then it's no longer a man cave, at least not by definition. So, right? So, but I'm saying like the shift in mind is what I think men have to do is that you have to shift that. The man cave separates you from your daughters, and then they're going to feel that, right? Oh, dad just goes to hide in the man cave and we kind of do our girl thing over here or whatever. Mom only does her hair. The certain talks, only mom, right? And what I've gotten better at is asking, right? And I'm going to tell you a story. I put myself in a situation where my daughter, my oldest, had said something to me, And she's like, never mind, I'll talk to mom, right? And I'm like, why? We could talk, right? She's like, you won't understand. And I'm not going to share her whole story because obviously that would be getting into her business, right? But I said, no, try me. And she did try me. And I was like, oh. And I just I stood there. I didn't know what to do because the situation definitely called for experience of a woman. That's not me. And I had nothing in my back pocket, like no scientific thing. So I started making a joke, and then she's like, I told you, and she got mad. And I instantly was like, oh man, kind of jacked that one up, right? But for the most part, I try to get into their lives where I can. But now I ask, hey, is it something that I can help you with? Do you want me to just listen? And then they'll be like, you absolutely can't help me with this. I need to talk to mom. Okay. I'm here though. Let me know if I can do anything for you. But before I pushed the issue, right? Before it was like, no, don't do that. Tell me. I got this. And I did not.
We learn from those kind of lessons, man.
Yeah, exactly. So very, very quick learner over here. Like a monkey with a fire. So it works. All right. So we see the flaw and I feel it. I think that's such a good perspective that you just gave us, right? We tend to separate ourselves because we feel like we don't know what we're doing, so we're going to give it off, when really, let's learn. Let's get in there and learn. As you've now progressed in coaching and fatherhood and your daughters are older, what's one thing you've seen start to change with fathers? Hopefully a positive. Have you seen a positive trend with fathers?
It'd be a great answer if I can say yes. That would be great.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing a lot of that. And the only places where I see it is in my connection with people like you, people who are panelists on our Men's Roundtable Series podcast. And we talk about those kind of things. That's when I see it primarily. Outside of that, in circles that I run in, personal, ministry, community circles, I see a lot of the same. People are just there. If a father has boys, then you see active involvement. If he has girls, it's limited to specific events like daddy-daughter time, or just intentional one day out of who knows how many months, when they just go and have lunch together go to the ice cream shop. Nothing wrong with that, but that seems to be where it starts and stops. So I'm not seeing a lot of progress, but that's not because there isn't any. I'm just talking about in the circles where I'm at.
Yeah.
You know, if it comes through in coaching / counseling conversations, it still seems to be one of those things that's like, you know, it's not in the top 3 relevant issues that we'll be talking about. And it probably should be, but it's not. I see more change in you than I do in a lot of those other areas. Every time we have a conversation, I see something that's different. I see every where you pivoted and you learn from your mistakes and you adjusted, you know, as opposed to trying to hide a mistake and hope nobody sees it, hope nobody notices. You know, so people like you and some others, that's where I'm encouraged by that.
Yeah,
because we gotta evolve a little bit. We gotta pivot and not be so willing to kind of give up on what we can contribute. But that's what it really all goes about, seeing value in yourself. If you don't see it, you know what I'm saying, you can't expect anybody else to see it, whether it be your wife or your daughters or your sons or anybody else. So you kind of go back to value.
On one of your panels, you guys were talking about the societal value you're given as a man in the current context, right?
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's where that's at, right? Like you start to believe that as a man, you're just a problem, right? Like because you're a man, because there's, what do you call it? The patriarchy, because there's like all these crazy things out there. And I think as I look, you know, I'm also hopeful because the numbers, at least on my show, show me that They seem to be going up, right? And
that's really good.
To me, that's hopeful because, as we mentioned before, if just one guy can flip that switch a little bit, and start to be present, not only did we give him that ability to enjoy what fatherhood is, but then we gave that child a present father. So, all in all, it's a win-win, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
If it's just one. But listen, I know we're getting close on time. You are doing a ton of work out there. You have your panel, you have one-on-one. You also have the other show, and I'm drawing a blank on it. That's right.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of work that is combating some of this nonsense out there, right? Reminding men that we are important, not just as men in society, but particularly with our daughters. It's an important thing for you to show up the right way with your girls. Give me a little bit of background on the work you're doing, and we're gonna get all your links. Obviously, we're gonna throw them on, and people are gonna be able to find you. But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for the numbers that I see in the rising. I'm hopeful for the men that I see log into the live panels and engage.
Yeah.
Give me a little bit of that of that background with what you're working on right now, and then all the shows that you're doing.
Okay. Real quick story. This whole journey started in 2020, probably one of the worst times in our world's history, as you guys already know.
Yep.
I was having some dealings. I was having some big time challenges. Losing jobs, wondering where the next meal is going to come from, that kind of thing, and having some real dark thoughts. Now, being from New York, one thing that was common there was that radio was a big part of the background of my life.
Okay.
No matter what I was doing and where I was, there was usually a radio going on in the background. Getting home, in the car, on the train, on the bus. It's always some kind of music from the radio going on in the background. So it was a big part of my childhood and my upbringing. So we hit 2020, and I was, finding out, as we all did, that we came to look at TV. Everything was bad news. Like even the sitcoms were infiltrating bad. Sitcoms, situation comedies were making me sad because of what was in. I'm like, okay, I can't retreat to TV to escape the real life stuff going on around me. And radio was not non-existent, but it was really hard to find radio that year. It's kind of getting phased out. So I felt compelled to embrace podcasting instead. People were talking like I'm talking. They were talking about things that mattered to me, that were germane to me. They had some of the same feelings I had. And they were around people who were talking through it. That encouraged me to keep going because I was really dealing like, man, this is not... Sign me... It is a sign-out sheet.
Yeah, right.
Sign me out of this.
Get me out of here. Yeah.
I wanted out, seriously. But that was what started the process. We started a show called They Call Me Mr. U. That was our very first show. As a matter of fact, we're not even producing it anymore, but it's still our most popular show. It's still in the 0.5% or whatever around the world. We're not even producing anything new. It's like 4 seasons of work that's just out there where you can see it. It got sports in it. You got everything in it but politics. You got even a little bit of politics are in there too. So you got sports, a little tiny bit of politics, a little bit of religion. You got personal development. You got humor. You got education. All kinds of stuff in there. So it's 4 seasons of a lot of stuff, which is really, really good. But I had a lot to say. I had a lot on my chest, and it took 4 seasons to get it all out. So now that show has become the brand for the other shows, the Inspiration Station, where I talk to people kind of one-on-one about life stuff, personal development things. I coach to the world through that particular venue. The Men's Roundtable Series podcast. We have a monthly panelist, maybe about 5 to 8 men usually, sometimes a little bit less nowadays, but 5 to 7 men. They'll come on and we'll talk about a safe space for men and men's issues. All we talk about is what's germane to men, what men are dealing with, what men are feeling, and how men seek to handle and resolve the issues and kind of grow as men. Fathers, brothers, husbands, and sons will be kind of focusing on. So it's been going on for about, I think, almost 8 months now. So we're excited about it. but we've just been doing that for a while. It's growing. There's a lot of areas where it can grow some more, but I feel like there's a mission that every man that comes on the show or knows about the show and watches it and listens to it, you have a responsibility. I know people put it on me like, I got to promote. No, I don't. We need to be building something that we think is valuable for us.
That's right.
Because men don't have safe spaces a lot of times, and those man caves, those aren't even safe spaces a lot of the time. They're isolations.
Yeah,
isolation chambers.
Yep.
And they turn into that for a lot of people. And that safe space is blessing a lot of men. I even get mothers and wives that text me and call me on my phone and say, I wish my husband would do this. This is so great. I hear more from women sometimes than I do from men, which is an astounding commentary, though. And the last show was One-on-One with Mr. U. That's our flagship show right now. We interview people from around the world, generally to get compelling stories and actionable strategies and tips on how to grow, whether it be in business/entrepreneurship, in personal development, in marriage, or just whatever it is that, whatever journey you're on to be the best version of yourself that you can be. I bring people in who can kind of speak to that, former coaches, C-suite employees, CEOs. I bring those folks in so you can kind of have their view on that. They may have something to offer the world that people want to hear about. So we're just having fun with it. I call all these shows the excuse removers because I still coach through these shows, all three of them, and I don't shy away from that. I am coaching through all three of these shows. But in presentation, I can coach more because it's just me. I'm not bouncing things off of multiple people. So
right.
It's just a kind of chance to share what I've learned over these 30 years or so and just try to help some folks get better where they want to get better, turn some mountains into molehills. So that's what we're doing with the work. I'm excited about it. I know that the numbers don't match up to many, and I'm okay with that. Honestly, I'm doing authentically me through these shows, and I'm happy with that, man. So the numbers will come, the growth will come, the subscriptions and analytics, they'll come, the monetization, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I'm just excited about what we're doing, man. And you're a big part of that, man. So thank you for your contribution to it too.
Ah, man, thank you. No, it's an honor, seriously, to have been on your show and then the panel. I mean, when I listen to it, there's just so much that comes out of that, and even just the thought process, right? Like that's one thing that I think we're losing a little bit. You got AI, you got everything, like just to be able to sit and think through things, not react to things, but think through things.
Oh yeah.
And the panel does a great job at that, and you run that very well. So super excited to be on that. I'm going to have all the links available for Yusef, for Mr. U, down at the show notes for y'all to reach those. Catch the panel. I have that, by the way, guys. If you go to my pod roll, if you go down at the bottom, you'll see One-on-One, and I'll put the other one on there as well. So you can easily get to it on Buzzsprout. I think it's Buzzsprout that shows that.
Pod roll, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's right, yeah. So it'll be on there.
You're on my pod roll too.
Yeah, see, I'm telling you, we're moving up. This is the world we live in. I'm excited. Listen, I know it's tough, and we see, like you said, all the negative out there, but you're doing great work. You're doing positive work, and for all of you out there, if you can just catch a little bit of it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You're doing amazing stuff, man, and I really thank you for your time to sit here with Daughter Community and give us some of your background and your story, because I think that's what makes us learn, right? Those little things that we go through and then be able to share. There's someone out there that has felt, said, or done what you're talking about. And so thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much for your time and for your willingness to be just authentic here. And thank you, man.
Thank you for having me in here, man. This has been really fun. I hope I get a chance to connect with you again. You're going to be on our Men's Roundtable Series podcast, which I'm really excited about. So we're collaborating, man, and we're doing things. And it's hashtag Girl Dad Nation, baby. We're doing this.
Yeah.
Man. So we're here.
Absolutely. Remember to listen to the show. Give the show to another father that is working on being better every single day, showing up better every single day, because that is our goal here at Daughter Podcast. Until next time, we'll see you all later. Hey, if you enjoy the Daughter Podcast, you'll love what we've got waiting for you at daughterpodcast.com. As soon as you visit, you'll be prompted to join our new email newsletter, a resource packed with valuable insights, practical tips, and powerful perspectives straight from our podcast episodes and incredible guests. Don't miss out on the chance to join the community and strengthen your journey as a father. Visit daughterpodcast.com today and subscribe, because great dads never stop growing.